wide. It's usually as wide as the cactus is tall. The saguaro cactus does not get its distinct arms until it's about 7 years old. And it does not flower until it's about 40 years old. And the flower on the saguaro cactus is the Arizona state flower. Over to my left is Rattlesnake Creek and Rattlesnake Canyon. Both very appropriately. Stop number 1 to my right, stop number 1. And again, you do need to be at one of these stops to get on and off a shuttle. All the water in the Sabino Creek comes from either Snow Mountain or rain from Mount Lewis. There are not any springs feeding water to the Sabino Creek. It's all comes from rain from Mount Lewis. And there are no fish in the Sabino Creek, and the reason for that is that it stops flowing for a minimum of 6 weeks of the year. However, there are some pools that can keep water in them year-round. So we do have gila chubs. And a gila chub is a small chub. Not much bigger than a guppy, but a gila chub. Stop number 2. Just want to remind everybody that you do need to keep your arms and your legs in the shuttle at all times. And we're going to be crossing the first of 9 bridges. We'll be going over. Hold on to your hats and watch out for the trees. Watch out for the trees. We're in the wild. To my left, stop number 3. Over to my left, I want to point out the saguaro cactus is growing along the cliff wall. Some of them seem to be growing straight out of the rock. Amazing. Then at the end of the bridge to my right, I want to point out the cactus. I want to point out the tree with the white bark on it. The tree with the white bark is an Arizona sycamore. An Arizona sycamore. And over to my right up on top, I want to point out the rock face. This looks like a face. In fact, you can see where the nose would be at and the eyes. They call this the rock mask. The rock mask. In fact, I think it's winking at you. And over to my left, I want to point out all the large boulders along the creek bed. All the boulders along the creek bed came down in a great earthquake that happened in May of 1887. If they would have had a Richter scale and used at that time, it would have registered a 6.7 on the Richter scale, and the center of that earthquake was in northern Mexico, about 120 miles south of here. So, over to my left, I want to point out the tree overhanging on the road. This is a blue oak. A blue oak is the only broadleaf tree in the canyon that stays green year-round. Sometimes one set of leaves fall off, another set will grow immediately after, so it does stay green throughout the year. And again, on my left, I want to point out the trees next to the creek bank. These are cottonwood trees. And cottonwood trees always grow near water. And the reason for that is in the summertime, they can drink up to 200 gallons of water a day. The cottonwood tree. Stop number 4 to my right, stop number 4. Over to my right up on top, I want to point out the cliff face. That cliff wall is called the Acropolis Wall. And the Acropolis wall is 410 feet tall. It's the equivalent of a 40-story building, and that is the rock face. Sabino Canyon is constantly changing. It does change with the four seasons. Hopefully you'll get a chance to come and visit it during another season in the fall when all the leaves are changing colors on the trees. It really is a beautiful sight. And Sabino Canyon does have an abundance of wildlife living in it. In fact, there are over 200 species of birds that live here in Sabino Canyon. It's truly a bird watcher's paradise. Of course, we have a variety of mammals, which are the white-tailed deer. And we might see them usually on a daily basis. They are a smaller deer than they have on the East Coast. And of course, we also have coyotes, javelinas, mountain lions, bobcats, ring-tail cats, coyotes, skunks, foxes, and badgers, just to name some. Star number 5 to my right, star number 5. Over to my left, I want to point out the trees with the green bark on them. The trees that are completely green with the green bark are Palo Verdes. And when the Palo Verde tree is in bloom, it has little yellow flowers that cover its complete tree. The Palo Verde tree is also the Arizona state tree. Stop number 6 to my left, stop number 6.
Dad, are we going to get off?
Over to my right along the hillside, I want to point out the cactus that are low to the ground. They're pear-shaped and look like a bunch of adults put together. These are prickly pears. And the prickly pear cactus blooms a yellow flower. And the base of this flower turns into a fruit. And this fruit, as well as the prickly pear cactus itself, are very important food sources for the wildlife. And people do ask how did Sabino Canyon get its name? Well, honestly, nobody really knows for sure. However, there are three main theories. The first theory is that it was named after a local rancher whose name was Sabino Ortero. The problem with this theory is that his ranch was 45 miles south of the canyon. The second theory comes from a story about a rust-colored horse. A rust-colored horse that used to roam the canyon, and the Native Americans called this horse Sabino. And then there's the third theory, and this is the one that the U.S. Supreme Court decided was most likely. Yes, we did get the U.S. Supreme Court involved, and they decided that Sabino Canyon was named after a rust-colored bush. A rust-colored bush that used to grow along the canyon creek. However, this bush is now extinct. And the word Sabino means rust. Rust-like. Like rust. Stop number 7 to my right. Stop number 7.